I'm going to go ahead and hit record. Welcome, everyone, to the very first historic Cryptogenics company corporate bridge call. And we haven't really decided exactly what we're going to call this sucker yet, but we'll get there. I want to take just a couple minutes to say to everybody, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to come over and meet with us. As Stephen said, this if you were on a couple minutes early, this is kind of our dry run or practice run, if you will. I have my co-host on with me, Mr. Krypto Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. We're gonna be hosting this thing, buddy, every Wednesday night. So we kind of want to give people an idea exactly what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to start out right with that. So you're probably wondering, why did we pick Wednesday nights, and why are we picking the 9 o'clock time that the presentation is? So I'll kind of clear that up right now. Going effective week after next, so that's 2 weeks from now. Going effective 2 weeks from now, we will be having these calls every Wednesday night. Now, the purpose of these calls are going to be one thing. It's going to be to bridge the gap, and that gap is between the corporate and the field. So we want people to feel like they're in line, like they're actually getting the information firsthand. And so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. We will be answering questions. It will be a Q&A style. The questions that you'll hear tonight are questions that Joe and I have collected and written down to ask Stephen and Mike to talk about this evening. So get your pens and paper out, get something to drink. What we'd like to invite everyone to do, whether you're on this call, excuse me, live, or you're getting this in the recording, because we are going to put it up on the blog, is go to Ask KGX, make sure you put 2 Ks in there, at gmail.com. Submit your questions there. When we get your questions, we're gonna do the research. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get you the best qualified answer. If your question doesn't get answered in the first week after you submit it, then know this: there's probably a different person going to come on and be a guest that will be better suited to answer your question. So no question will be ignored. And so that's kind of where we're at. So I want to thank Mr. Stephen McCullough and Mr. Mike Boggs this evening for coming on for our first dry run call. I know that the Core 5, all of the Core 5 people's time is very important. Joe, I know that you've got a couple questions that you want to start Mr. Stephen out with. So I'll turn it over to you, buddy.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out too. And thanks, Steve, and thanks all the Core 5 members that are here. I got a bunch of Cryptogenics things here, so I know there's a bunch of you in here. Really, let's just kind of start off with what we're looking at on the screen right here. And I see a bunch of languages. Can you kind of go into that with us, Steve, a little bit?
Yes.
With all that?
Yes. You know, this is a global company. This is not just a U.S. company. And so there's a lot being involved, and y'all have heard the story as we come to this point. But right now you see Spanish, Italian, Swedish, Portuguese, Russian, and Tagalog, which is Filipino. Those languages are 100% done. You click on that link, everything you see is in that language. The videos are audio, video, streaming video, voiced over video are done. And so there's one language I got to mention. Those are the key languages to our global growth, except for Chinese. Chinese is done. They're putting Chinese up right now. And the Chinese, it's actually, there's 2 versions of Chinese. There's Chinese simplified and Chinese traditional. But from what I've been taught, everybody understands Mandarin. Mandarin Chinese is the spoken language everyone understands. I'm not Chinese, so I just got to go there. But anyway, so you'll see 2 Chineses show up shortly. And what will happen is when you go into those languages, they'll be speaking Mandarin in both of them, identical videos. But they'll be able to download the traditional from one of them and the simplified from the other one. So right there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you throw in German. German's being voiced over right now. That's 10 languages. Those 10 languages cover about 70% of the population in the world. I think that's big enough. Okay, so what we're doing next is we've got 20 other languages, which I'm not going to run through them right here, right now. But they are on my whiteboard beside me because that's how this is all organized. And we've got 20 other languages that are 100% text translated. So that means once we get these last couple of Chinese and that German went up, you're then going to see all the other languages come on, And they're going to come on completely text translated. And right now, if it was whatever language, let's just say Thai, this would be in Thai. And you would click on the links down below like you do with any language. And what we'll do is we'll have these links open Thai PDFs so people can read those. So there'll be 20 languages that you read. Now, why are we having them read those? Well, because until we grow and move into those countries, there's no sense in spending the 10 grand, to voice this stuff over for those countries. But believe me, bring 50 members in any country and we'll voice it over right then. We have everybody lined up and ready, but it's all business. It's all business model and the money we're spending. So we've been very, very serious about developing this. And when I want to use the words, I'm done, man, I'm done. I'm so glad to be done. This has been a task. And so now that you see 7, 8, 9, and 10 languages coming up shortly, 7's up, I'm happy, I'm done. And you go over here and you notice you click on this drop-down menu. And this drop-down menu, I think it has 25 or 27 languages in it. And they're finalizing the back office in this. And so while I'm gone on vacation starting like Friday, by the time I'm back from vacation a week from now, believe me, I need a vacation. All of that will be done. The back office is all built into a database translation system, and we're wrapping it. It's already all translated. The programmers are now putting it all in the database and importing it all so to run in the system. So it's not just about the translation of the education. It's about the translation of the website. We're ready. You're talking about 27, 8 languages, whatever it happens to be right there. It'll finalize out at 30, but because 30 is the number that we were going for. And then we will have all that in the education. Like I say, and as we begin to grow, like let's just use Poland, for instance. When we begin to grow in the Polish area of the world, that's when we'll voice over Polish. And that's how we'll handle this. We're not going to go ahead and voice over 20 more lessons because I want y'all to do the math on this. Yeah. There's 30 languages times 45 lessons put into a different language. It's 1,300 and something lessons that we already have in place and up. There's 10 languages that are 9 are completely voiced over, so let's use 10. There's 450 voiced over lessons. This was a monstrous project. And so now we're to the point of, you know what, we're done. And now it's just trickling in, and we'll finish up in the next 10 days, and it's already all there. And we can begin to prepare to go out and not just build a company worldwide that creates an incredible financial opportunity for people. It also can truly educate the world into this space that everyone on this call understands how important it is. But while I talk about the education and the opportunity for just a second, I want you to realize something. The education is our vehicle. This is the vehicle we'll drive to the opportunity. And you need to realize that because some people totally focus on education while others totally focus on money. And that's how it goes. But they combine together to make an incredible program and an incredible product. Throw the mining rigs in and some other things that we're working on right now. Throw the mining rigs in and we begin to take our place in the cryptocurrency space. So I'll go ahead and end that answer right there.
Okay. Hey, Steve, you kind of mentioned something a little bit earlier about September's kind of like kickoff time for most, marketing companies and things like that. What, if that's what we're kind of planning here for kind of like a launch idea, what could everybody be doing to kind of get ready for that? I mean, you guys are doing your part, but what can we be doing out here?
Well, it's kind of funny because if you're in this industry and you're from this industry, college football and network marketing line up together. Yeah. Meaning that about time first kickoff of college football, for some reason, network marketing runs. And so something you got to think about here is Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin has been, let's use the word depressed. Okay. So when Bitcoin is depressed, well, the world's depressed in the Bitcoin world, not really. But what I mean by that is when Bitcoin runs, the whole world runs toward Bitcoin. And so there's some things that are lining up right now. Bitcoin's went up $1,000 in the last 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. But September, let's get back to that. You know, we can recruit all we want. Mm-hmm. And we can recruit and we can recruit and we can recruit. But what we want to do is duplicate. You know, there's the old story, help them get to, work with the workers, help the workers. Start picking out in your team who the workers are and focus on working with the workers. When you build a network, you just don't throw something against the wall and hope it sticks. I mean, I see a lot of people in the industry bring a lot of great people to the table and they're at the table, but they forget to get in the car with them and drive. And so what you want to do is you want to align with your people, see who really wants to work, and you may have to do, this is work. Building a network's not just, hey, send out a couple emails, yeehaw, we're there. This is work. And for those who want to be successful and have been successful, you know it's work. So what you got to do is figure out who wants to go to work, who wants to make that list, who wants to do those Zoom calls, one-on-one Zoom calls, group calls. You know, we're right here for you. We will do Zoom calls for you. We will present this program for you. We will present the GreenX mining rigs for you. Engage with us, connect with us. We're here to work for you. But in turn, we want you to work. We want the people who want to build this program and become successful to work. And so right now, you need to be figuring out who in my team wants to work. And you need to get aligned with them, and y'all need to make a plan, and y'all need to begin to move forward and begin recruiting, because the seeds that you sow today in September, those trees will begin to grow. And so, I can give a motivational speech and the whole thing, but we're building a company. We're not building a figment of our imagination. We're building a company that's going to put, you're going to put forth effort, you're going to put forth work, but pick the people who want to work and work with them and watch it happen. Because, like I say, the success stories, I can't wait to tell them. We've got success stories here already. We just can't tell them. We can't tell what's going on because it's enticement. So we can't really tell how things are really going, but we're very happy with the numbers at this company. And we're very happy with the way this company's growing. And now that we're pretty much wrapping it all up, we're tying the programmers right now are API into Green LLC so that people will be able to go in their back offices and see these rigs. And so there's so much work that's been going on all together all the time to put this program together. But what you need to do is find the people who want to go to work, and you go to work with them. I can recruit 100 people, but if I don't duplicate 2 of them, I'm not doing myself any favors. You want to work with people and duplicate and teach them how to duplicate and go out and build huge teams across the world.
Okay.
Next question. Okay.
Wow. Steve, take a breath, get something to drink. I'm exhausted just listening to that, man. So, Stephen, I want to talk to you a little bit on a personal level, because I know being with Kryptogenics for a hot minute, even before it was a company, before we had a name. And so coming up through that, I've talked to a lot of different people. And the one thing that I've heard so many times is, it's hard to set up a wallet. It's hard to get your fiat into Bitcoin. It's hard to get the exchanges up and running. And you know what? I used to think, Stephen, and I'm just being honest, I used to think, these people really don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, when I removed myself and I sat back and I looked at it, I realized these people were really actually kind of right. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do. That, the new person, it's not the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to ask you a personal question and ask you, what is Kryptogenics going to do, and how can Kryptogenics help simplify the issue for people coming in that are not familiar with or that don't own any Bitcoin? How can we make it easier for them?
Okay. I didn't think it was going to come to this either, but it is, and it did, and now it all makes sense. And believe me, I got some major leaders talking to me about what's going on. They're going, Steve, we can sell this, the $300 price tag, the compensation, it's all awesome. We can sell this. It's just got to be easier to get the money in, because although we're all Bitcoin people and we got wallets and we love it and it's all simple to us, it's not simple to the world, or they'd already all be. So what we're doing is we're finishing the programming to accept credit cards. We've got 2 approvals so far from 2 different companies. And for those of you who weren't here early, it is a process to get a network marketing company approved nowadays. And that's why it's took this time. And so now that we've got the approval, we're in the final stages of hooking one of the credit card processing companies up. And then you'll be able to have somebody join and pay with credit card. And that,
for real?
Yeah, and that's your first big solution, because, I'm just going to be honest with you. I did Coinbase. We all did Coinbase. You took a few days. You had to tell it you had the 2 pennies in your bank account. Yeah. Man, that just went awry. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if I'm trying to teach you that today, and you're sitting there going, I'm going to join this business and teach somebody that tomorrow, it's not going to happen. And so we'll have the credit card processing in place shortly, and then the second one will come into place. And so people will be able to start paying by credit card. And we feel like that's the missing bullet in the gun. But the second thing is the backside of this. You would think, well, okay, so they're in, they can pay, that's great. But how do they get their money? Now we're back to that same problem. Oh, I'm so confused by this whole wallet thing, and how do I go get that card or that BitPay or that Coinbase? And, Coinbase doesn't have any customer service. I need help. And so that's a mess. And so we had already contracted with a company, and we had the first training call today, and we'll have a second one tomorrow, and we'll get it recorded. Chris, I'll make sure you're there to record it. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to order a card. So you're going to go to this website, and I'm not going to mention any company names yet, but you're going to be able to click on this link in the back of our website as soon as they give us the link, and that'll be next week. And you'll be able to say, it'll say, click here to get a KGX debit card. And what you'll do is go there, and you'll immediately fill out an application, a quick application, and it will let you then fund it. Now, here's a trick, okay? If you have Bitcoin, you can fund it right then. Once you have your debit card, if you decide to use this debit system, You got a new member who can't do Bitcoin, don't have no Bitcoin. They could hand you $20 and you can move $20 from your wallet at this debit company to their wallet so they can immediately get their debit card. And then this debit card will allow you to, it's a worldwide debit card, except in the countries that are annexed. You know, we know how the governments are. But so most countries in the world, most currencies in the world, let's just say Australia, the Australian guy can jump on there and get him a debit card too. And this company, third-party company, will ship him the debit card. I think it's $11. They'll ship him the debit card. And on that debit card, they have currency and they have Bitcoin. So on that debit card, you'll have a Bitcoin wallet address in that debit card. And you'll be able to put that Bitcoin wallet address in our back office, just because we want to pay in Bitcoin because it simplifies our processing systems. We don't really have to hardly charge any money to send you your money. And so you'll be able to take your wallet from that debit card company, real simple, and we'll have a little video for it, but it'll be simple, and put that wallet over here in the Kryptogenics back office, and then we'll pay you to that debit card. Now I want to explain the whole process. When we pay you to that debit card, that's international bank accounts. You'll have an account, and your money will be set in that account. It won't be sitting on that debit card. And then you'll move that money inside this little simple system into your debit card when you want to use it. So, because a question was asked today, what about if somebody steals my debit card? Well, don't put all your money on your debit card. Leave your money in this account that you'll have with the debit company, and then move money easily through an app to your debit card when you want to use it. So if you lose your debit card, people don't steal your money. So, so let's simplify everything I just said. You'll be able to pay your credit cards, and we can pay you to a debit card. Therefore, it doesn't require that you go to Coinbase or somewhere and get that wallet and then go get that Shift or Swift card or go get that BitPay card, and oh God, we're all lost again. So you'll be able to pay your credit cards, and we'll be able to pay you to a debit card so that it works out. So we make it simple. You know, it took time to get to here, but we're there. And so that's why we're having this first call. I didn't nearly expect this type of attendance on this call. This was a test run. But go ahead with your next question, Kris.
Well, first I want to say thank you, and I want to acknowledge the fact that the Core 5 has worked endlessly and tirelessly to put this together. I mean, I'm astounded at 12 weeks into this, you know, pre-launch. We are greater than any company that I can honestly say that I've been affiliated with, and I just want to thank you guys for that. But what I really want to say is, you know, during our presentation, Stephen, I know you've jumped on, and I know that Albert's jumped on a couple times as well, Jeremy too, and you guys have heard us say that, you know, Kryptogenics has been about keeping this fun and keeping it simple. And I think that the answer that you just gave, that just amplifies that 100 times. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty great with being able to buy with a credit card and then get an international credit card for our funds to go on so we can use it. That simplifies so many problems right there, guys. That's a good job. You know what I mean? I'm you know, we've done a lot of complaining on our thing. I know. I'm sorry about that. Good job, guys.
Just so everybody know it's compliant.
We're going to shut up now. How's that?
Good job. Good job. So, Joe, I know you had another question for Stephen that we talked about earlier. Are you ready for that one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
No, this kind of goes back to more of the Kryptogenics, the actual program and everything. And it's what we've been going through. And, you know, we've done a lot of training on our show. We did a month-long social media training thing, teaching people how to use social media, you know, to gain people, to get people interested and involved. What's kind of your take on that, Steve? I mean, as far as like the old school way, the new school way, where are you at on that?
I believe it takes both ways.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain what I mean. You know, you've got this social media marketing, and that's great. But networking is about building relationships, and it's about trust, and it's about people trusting you. So we can go out and we can use social media marketing to capture. Let's say we capture leads, and we bring people. But honestly, you've got to connect with these people and build relationships so everybody has a trust in each other to go out and build the company together. It's like you're going into business together. So you got to know each other and get to know each other. So I believe it takes both ways. Now, I know you'll get a lot more leads through social media marketing, but some people say, what about that old belly-to-belly way? Well, it's part of it. It's all part of it. You know, and I'm all for traveling the country and doing meetings. Some people go, I don't do that meeting thing. Well, I don't know how you did it without it. So I know that you can go into a meeting and people go, okay, I believe this now. I trust this. I trust these people. I can be in business with these people. So I believe it takes both ways. I believe that you use social media marketing to then track back to developing relationships and building businesses through strong relationships and trust. I mean, I'll just use one name right now, Rick Ricketts. I didn't find Rick Ricketts through social media marketing. I found him 20 years ago, network marketing. And Rick Ricketts, 20 years later, will tell you, I'm with this guy because I trust this guy. I hate to use the word trust in here, but that's where it goes. I'm with this guy because I trust this guy. That's network marketing. And so it's about building relationships and finding a common goal, which is success, which is taking a company across the world, which is making good incomes. It's all the above, all inclusive. So I think it takes both of them. I think if you think you're going to send out 1,000 emails and it's just going to all line up and work out for you, I'm sorry, I think you're wrong. I think you do have to make contact. I've got to get to know Kris. Me and Kris now are really, really good friends, okay? I didn't know Kris 5 months ago, 5.5 months ago. We have a relationship. Kris, can you trust me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I can trust you?
Yes, sir.
That's why we're here on this call. And so I believe that it takes both. And that's not to say I'm smarter than anybody, no better than anybody. I believe it takes both. I believe it takes Zoom calls. I believe it takes three-way calls. I believe it takes meetings. I believe it takes one-on-ones. I believe it takes social media. And I believe they all lead to a common goal. But I believe you got to do all of them to be truly, incredibly successful. It's like this again. I can take two people and duplicate, 2, 4, 8, 6, 16, 32. I can take two people and duplicate. That's by building a relationship and building a business and doing Zoom calls for those two people and helping those two people. You know, I don't want to be out on a limb wondering where all my leadership is. I want to be inside the tree working with everyone. And so I think it's very, very important that you understand that once you bring people to the table, that's not the end. That's the beginning. That's when you begin to build a relationship and build a business with those people.
So Steve, on that, would it be kind of safe to say use everything at your disposal to build those relationships?
Yes, but everything leads back to you.
Right. Exactly.
That's exactly right. But it all leads back to you. Then it leads back to you helping. And if you can't present this program and you're not capable of leading the team you're trying to build, by all means, put us on Zoom calls. Let us present for you. Use us. Use who we are to help you build your business.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Wow. Thanks, Stephen.
What do you got, Kris?
We're gonna let Stephen rest for a minute because
we got Mike on here, don't we?
We got Mike Boggs around here somewhere. Mike Boggs, are you there?
Yeah. Let's chew on his ear for a minute.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Hanks?
Oh, it's awesome, Mr. Boggs. Awesome.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Krypto Joe.
Thank you. How you doing?
You know what, Mike? I am awestruck that we pulled the kind of attendance that we pulled tonight at such short notice. That just tells me that people are ready, people are willing, and people are objective about building. And, you know, one of the most exciting things that we've been talking about recently has been our Green X rigs and our mining. And I was wondering if you would just kind of give us you know, I hate to say the elevator pitch because that's not really long enough, but maybe just a look into exactly what we have our hands on here, because we have 52 people on this call right now that really want to know how is GreenX going to change cryptogenics and what is the rigs and mining all about?
Sure. In fact, it was while Stephen was kicking it on the Zoom here, Dave Smith gave me a call and I had to take the call. But you know, as someone in my position that deals with the legal and compliance, you know, I work with our attorney teams literally every day, and the fact that you know, GreenX is here with us as in cryptogenics, and you know, I do have to give hats off to Kathy Keynes, you know, for bringing that relationship to us for cryptogenics. So you know, hats off to them. You know, everybody really needs to understand that there's two phases to GreenX. There's phase one, which is happening right now, and that is the proof of work. And everybody that understands mining is, you know, Bitcoin is a proof of work network, unlike Ethereum, which is a proof of stake network. Well, GreenX is a hybrid, and that means that during the first phase, you're going to get rewarded for helping create the coin. GreenX is not a ICO. It is not a round robin Series A. The only way this coin can be created is from people like you, and that is from you purchasing a rig, and once it gets online, your machine will create an ample amount of coins in the very beginning. And of course, as the network grows, just like Bitcoin network has grown, that level will come down. Now, phase 2 is where things get really, really fun, is that the residential and commercial applications of this product, the GreenX network, is that you will be able to use your own building, whether you're a residence and or a commercial application, with solar panels. We don't know, and I can't disclose prices yet, but you will basically be rewarded with coin for helping power the blockchain. So you're utilizing your own resources with the space that you already have, and you will be rewarded in phase 2 with coin for helping power the blockchain through the GreenX network. And that's quite a sizable feat. Everyone on this call should know that the GreenX, the Green Company, and everyone that stands for it has 40 plus patents. I think Kathy stated to me, and I think she posted, Walmart and all of that family down in Arkansas tried to copy some of this technology that Green United has, and they were turned down because it's already patented and protected. Mm-hmm. And you also need to understand that there's us. There's 10 entities that are capable of facilitating this product to everyone. And you guys are truly at the precipice of being a part of something like you could have been in 2009. I know Rick Ricketts is shooting himself in the foot because he was introduced to Bitcoin 4.5 years ago. If everyone on this call was in Bitcoin 4.5 years ago, I'd probably be on an island with the Corp 5, Chris Hanks, Art. I'd probably be fighting over the golf cart and all that stuff. So, it's just you guys are on the precipice. As the great Steve Harvey would say, sometimes you have to jump. And these are one of these moments. And I can be somewhat advantageous and pessimistic at the same time, especially in my role in the company. But, it's what if. Are you going to say I'm in, or what if, or some will and some won't, and so what? Are you going to be part of the people jumping off the cliff to be a part of something that it's actually going to be bigger than what you all can think? At any given time that the Core 5 have information that has to run through all of us. This project, the GreenX, is very well funded, extremely, by some very high net worth individuals, all of them vetted. And know that probably one of the funniest things that you guys will probably laugh at is that everything that we release through here comes through me. So the simple fact that we have GreenX here, can you imagine what some of the calls were like with Dave and them with me? And I do this because, we are family here, and my job is to protect you guys first. And then with doing that, it protects the company.
Exactly.
So that's kind of an overview. I can get very specific if you want some specific applications. That's not a problem that I'm allowed to do. So I hope that helps answer why we have GreenX here and the opportunity that we are providing to both customers and promoters alike.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I got a question on you on something. On the phase 2 there, that's working through proof of power, correct?
Yes, the proof of power, okay. Proof of stake for those that understand in the mining world. Yeah. Right.
Okay. I was just throwing it out there. I didn't know if anybody would, I had caught that in another thing with, I think Rob was talking about it on something I'd caught. I was just wanting to kind of check in with that on that.
Hey, I would kind of like to chime in here for a minute.
Mr. Steven caught his breath.
Yeah.
Steven never lost his breath. Hey, what got me was people said, okay, here's how GreenX works, and how can you have these GreenXs because they're not on the exchanges yet, and the value of the GreenX and all that kind of stuff. Well, all I know is what I'm about to tell you. Yeah. That my understanding of GreenX, and Mike, you can say I was right or wrong when I'm done, but my understanding of GreenX is that in the first 6 months, they'll put out 12.5 billion coins. And then in the second 6 months, they'll put out 12.5 billion more. And then after that, they'll start doing half, and it'll take a few years to put out the rest of the GreenX coins. And so people go, well, why are people so interested in this? Well, the people who understand mining and who have researched Green LLC and understand what's behind it and everything, they're interested at the gate before the party started because of the amount of coins that are going to go out at the gate. So right now we're standing in the gate. GreenX rigs are mining coins as of now, okay? So we're standing in the gate, and in the first 6 months, there's going to be 12.5 billion approximate coins mined. And so it's like, the early bird gets the worm. It's very simple. And so that's what's created the early, let's use the term, light hysteria, because we are selling a lot of GreenX rigs. And that's why people are buying them because, they are taking a chance. They're taking a chance on, okay, these people put a lot into this. There's a lot of money involved in putting this whole concept together and this green energy blockchain and all this. And some of it seems kind of fairy tale-ish, remember, just like Bitcoin did. Remember that part too? And so people who understand mining and see what's going on and see the magnitude of everything that's put in to build Green LLC have jumped early and bought rigs early so they could do what? Build up a lot of coins. And so I just want y'all to understand that's how the coins are going to split. That's how the coins are going to be spread out. And that's why people have gotten into GreenX early, is because they want to be in the front when the most coins are being mined. That way they get the most coins. And so that's my simple marketing take on it. Because do I own some GreenX rigs? Yes. Why? Because I took the risk. Why? Because what if it pays off? Okay. And I'm just like anybody else. I'm looking for my future. I'm looking for that great deal to happen. I got in Bitcoin at $1,200 a coin. I'm very happy with when I got in Bitcoin. I'm happy with my success in Bitcoin. I lost 7 Bitcoin when Bitcoin forked. I've been disastrous due to lack of education. I listen to how Brandon tells everybody where he would go and what he would do and what his thoughts are. And we all have our own thoughts. And I'm going to tell you what my real thought on this whole thing is. I wish that when I got involved in this industry, I would have stayed in Bitcoin. Now, this may not be your plan, and I wish that I would have just sold in and out of Bitcoin because every day it goes up and down enough that I could sell in and out of it and do good. This is me just being educational because I don't have a clue. I'm not the educator. But I have watched what has happened. And from the very beginning, I thought, man, if I could just get in, if somebody could tell me, now somebody needs to tell me, I don't need to do it on my own. But if somebody would tell me, get out of Bitcoin, Steve, get back in, Steve, get out, Steve, get in, Steve, I could deal with that. And you've been watching Bitcoin lately? I mean, this is where things happen. You choose these coins and people get in and out of them, but somebody needs to give them that kind of advice. And wouldn't that be interesting if Cryptogenics was going to bring that to the table? I just wanted to throw that in there because I'm all about Bitcoin because it goes up and down so much that if you had enough, you could win just by playing in and out. And so that's something that y'all will be hearing about more in the next month. There's a lot of stuff going on at Cryptogenics. So, Kris, I'm going to turn it back to you. And, Mike, you tell me if I did anything wrong.
I'll get you later.
Hey Mike, make sure that client.
No, it's good. Now, go ahead, Kris. I'm probably, if you wanted me to do the nitty gritty on, what we have.
Well, what I would really like to do is, and I know this is kind of probably goes against the grain just a little bit, so bear with me, but what I'd really like to do is I'd like for you to circle back around. You gave us a little bit of an overview, but you have more of an insight, Mike. You and Kathy probably have more insight on the GreenX rigs than just about anybody with the company, simply because you've been so hands-on. And of course, compliance and legalities are a big part of that. So if you had an opportunity to take 2 minutes to tell the field, just to instruct the field on GreenX, what would be your words to the field? Just words to the wise to these 60 people listening.
That's still kind of an overview, but I'm going to assume that you're directing me on what they can do with GreenX. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Why are you still on this call? Get off and get in your back office.
Very good. I love it.
It's again without going into the. I mean, Kathy and I have concrete evidence. I really want you to understand that when a coin comes to market or comes on the exchanges, you got to understand. And because Kathy and I actually asked the same question, is who sets the price? What happens when a coin gets on the exchange? Who sets it? Is it the exchange? Is it the company? is it a facilitator in part and all of this other stuff? And no, it's actually the company that has the coin that's going to be setting the price. So I can legally tell you that we believe, based on the information that Kathy and I have and my many talks with Dave Smith himself, that it's going to be at 2 cents.
Cool.
And I like to be the pessimistic person of that. I always do half or even 75% of that. But the fact that my number's not dropping on my Zoom here, and you guys are still here listening to me talk and not ordering rigs, is beyond me. But anyway, so we also estimate, based on the number of rigs that we know factually that are online, is that there's going to be a multitude of coins per rig. So I think I'll leave it at that. I really don't want to lead with, I think everyone on this call can do math.
Right.
And it's a very, very, very good opportunity. And like I said, Dave Smith called me while Stephen was talking and confirmed some more things for me. So it was, bye everybody, So I think that's enough without going into intricate details.
Hey,
Now,
for everybody that doesn't know,
I'm going to throw a company disclaimer in here at this time.
Please.
There's risk.
Always.
Oh, always risk. Yeah.
Okay. Let's be very clear about something. There's risk, and we're an educational company. We happen to sell mining rigs, and we cannot give information yet until these things hit the exchanges, and so that's why we're being very, very careful. But people are asking why GreenX, and we're trying to make you understand why.
Correct. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you, Mike. And just everybody that's on the call and everybody that gets this in the replay, we do want to reemphasize that, we absolutely are not advocating that, you compromise your home or anything else to buy these rigs. What we are trying to do is get you to understand that there is a huge opportunity at hand. And because of that, we want people to be educated. Also, Mike, I hope you know, because you know me well enough to know I'm pretty nosy. I didn't go down any rabbit holes with you simply because I did not want to put you on the spot. And
please let me understand. Regardless, I'll put this disclaimer out there too. If you look at the history of any coin that's put on the exchange, any history, It doesn't matter where it starts at. If it starts at $1, if it starts at, a 1/10 of 1 cent, it's always going to go up real sharply and it's going to crash. This is going to happen. So regardless if the information that I'm getting from, Dave Smith is the CEO and also the compliance department. So I can say things, but everyone needs to understand that any purchase like this, this is not a cheap purchase. It's almost a $4,000 product.
Correct.
Any type of risk. You also need to understand that even if you were to buy Bitcoin rigs, there is a very good chance that the rig you just purchased is going to break. It happens. I know. I've seen me do it. So always remember that there is substantial risk in any new thing, but we can, with validity, state that this project is very well financially backed. Stephen, myself, Kathy, Jeremy, and Will are all very happy that GreenX is here and that we're one of just a very few prim to be offering this to the world. Should say a lot to say that you guys have an unprecedented opportunity to potentially be a part of something that will be potentially huge. So as with anything, if I'm calling you and you don't know why, it's probably not a good day for you. So
don't drop the hammer. Don't drop the hammer.
I didn't do it.
Joe did it.
I did not. I didn't do it.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm over the top. Like, now I don't know how to finish packing. I don't know how to go to sleep tonight. There's a whole lot of stuff going on.
That was a lot of information.
It was a lot of information. And I just want to do a real quick recap before we close the call this evening. Just know that going forward, Exclusive of next Wednesday, there will not be a call next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. However, the following week, we will do our next call, and I'm going to put Mike on the spot since he's on here. Regardless of who else we have, Mike Boggs, I would like for you to be on and maybe kind of give us any news that you can give us on the Green X and the mining. Also, I would like for everybody to understand that Joe and I will be putting together an itinerary. So you will actually get an email from Cryptogenics, and in that email, you will know basically what we're going to cover. Maybe not the exact questions, but at least a guideline of what what we're going to be talking about. We would invite you to invite your teams to these calls. Listen, I can't stress this enough. As a pinnacle leader in this company, I want you to understand something. This comes from the heart, okay? When you have a company that's as transparent and as willing to work with the field as the Core 5 is, you have something that is huge. You have something that's unprecedented in this industry. These 5 people are doing everything they can to give us all the tools and all the information. Now, I know that having spoken to a lot of people, they feel like they don't know what's going on. They feel like it's quiet. They feel like it's this, that, or the other. And like Joe and I have said on our live show every day, it's, you know, when they're quiet, watch out because something's fixing to happen. It's going to explode, right? They've got their heads down and they're working hard. So Joe and I are going to do the same thing, and we're going to work very hard to bring you guys a great Wednesday night show every Wednesday night, because this is an honor. It's a privilege for us to be your part, right? Right, Joe?
Right, prime time, baby.
Yes, sir. Prime time. That's right. We maybe can say something on this one we can't say on the live, right?
Just prime time.
So, again, I want to remind everybody too, and we've already acquired the email address, so make sure you use it. It's askkgx@gmail.com. askkgx@gmail.com. Let's get those questions and dig deep, y'all. Don't be afraid to ask, because guess what? Core 5 wants to answer the questions. They really, honestly, earnestly want you to have all the answers that they can give you. Hey, Mike Boggs, you still here?
Of course.
Okay. Everything compliant and legal on this call, sir?
Yeah, everything compliant.
I'm actually very pleased with this, and the fact that that you would like to have me on the next following call, which I'm very happy to be a part of, only makes me want to pick on you guys more. So I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, if Art's going to be here, we can throw some things at him too. And oh, geez.
All right, Art.
It's KGX. It's my zucchini.
I see that. Your green machine. I love it. Thank you for that. Hey, Stephen McCullough, thank you so much for coming in this evening. I know that you and your beautiful bride are about to take your 30th wedding anniversary trip, and you guys are trying really hard to get shoved off and packed. So the fact that you took the time this evening to do this call at such short notice is awesome. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, Kris. If I can stay married for 30 years, I can build a company. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Don hasn't killed you yet. That's good.
Good. Thanks for coming on, Steve.
Hey, thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to let you close out the call as we always do on our lives. And I appreciate you coming. You're the best co-host in the world, brother.
Hey, I try. You are too, buddy. Hey, we just want to thank everybody for coming out and sticking with us and listening. We really appreciate it. We do this for everybody. You know, this is great. We got some really, really big information tonight. I took some notes. I'm going to double check and make sure I got everything down right. If you want to check in tomorrow, I'll be doing the show at what is it, 2 o'clock?
2 Eastern. Yes,
2
sir.
Eastern. Yeah, 2 Eastern.
2 Eastern.
Live on Facebook. And I'll kind of recap some of this stuff that they said we can recap. You know, I'll run this by everybody and see what I can say. But and just kind of give you all some updates and check it out. You know, come see us and, you know, send questions in to me and I'll answer them best I can. But thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. Thank you all. Have a good night. We love you. Be safe.
Thank you, everyone. God bless to everyone.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.